and bacon and sausage is on behalf of Mr. Hall, James right here on Turner Hill. And he will be coming to you today, this morning, to give you a little. Hi, Mr. Hall. Well, he's on the agenda today, so he is our sponsor. So, Mr. Hall, come on and tell everyone about Bojangles on Turner Hill.
All right, thank you so much. Let's give Oprah a run for a minute. It's a pleasure to be part of this important occasion. I'd like, though, to thank our host, Mr. Bill Allen, for pulling this together. Sure, I appreciate it. And again, I'd like to just personally thank you for allowing Bojangles to be a part of this community. The community has been wonderful to work with. It's inspirational for my family and me and all of my employees. We pride ourselves in whatever community we find ourselves operating in providing job opportunities for both young and old. It feels good when we bring a young person in to the business. Those young people who are interested in moving forward. That person accepts the training, becomes a manager. And there are several over my 40 plus years of doing business who were former employees when they were 16, maybe 17 or 20 years old, who now actually own their own businesses. So I say to young people and old, if you want to go in business, have a job somewhere in a business. So, where you learn how to run a business. Business is not a game for amateurs. It takes a lot of practice. But I am an example. Many of you here are examples of Black people being able to make it once we're exposed. So exposure is the key. Anyway, thank you. Enjoy your breakfast and enjoy this wonderful thing that Mr. Allen has planned. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. We can continue our breakfast. We are almost there. We're going to let everyone find a seat before we get started. And we're going to listen to some more jazz music. Thank you, Chan.
DJ Chan.
I'm not cue y'all up. When I'm on the mic, I want me.
No, they was on whoever organized this. They was on. Oh yeah, she not playing at all. I like it. Yeah, she got it. That's everything on point. And I felt it as soon as I walked in. That sign, all of it. Where that dessert at?
I didn't bring it, nobody told me.
Something is wrong in the air. You ain't got nothing in your mouth.
Yeah,
I thought this being alive, that's the ask for some good dessert.
Just being in the place.
Yeah. Just being hungry, having a stomach.
She like, nah, it costs money to make them cakes. So. You do the pound cake?
You know we got a bakery that's open now.
yeah, but that cake don't taste like mine.
We have a bakery that's baking.
Yes, and that bill, but then I compensate for all the oil that, yes, that I would have to pay to the
Point taken.
We had some tables taping on 65 now. But I'm leaving for those to get the 70%. It's like if you start going low, yeah. Are you able to grab it in? Yeah, it's not going to grab just in case. I need a bottle, buy a couple of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, the buffet is over. I'm sorry I didn't announce that before the food leaves.
I think I see everybody up there but me.
I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you. I didn't even shoot.
You see what I'm saying?
I hear you.
And that's where everybody, yes, I was here that day. I'm always here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, but I see all the school, the whole table talking about it.
I don't even know when they shot it, honestly.
I know when they shot it. Yeah, we had a 225 special weekend. Just fucking skip over me. I was here that day. That's okay. I'm gonna tell Miss Orr about that too because they always do that. I started out here when we was in the dirt. The first goddamn store. I ain't never been highlighted, spotlighted, nothing. I don't not one video, not nothing. And I'm not making that up.
I'm gonna look.
Huh?
I'm gonna voice that on my end.
I mean, it's just the truth. Everybody at the table sitting there talking about it.
I didn't know. But you keep saying what you say. I'll address it on my end too.
Director of the New Black Wall Street Market, Matthew Hampton, if you give him a round of applause. Thank you all so much for being here, and welcome to District 1 of Stonecrest. And now I'm going to pass the mic over to Matthew so he can give you the purpose and the mission. Once again, thank you.
Thank you, Ruben. Thank you all for getting up early on Saturday and coming out to fellowship with us. It's truly awesome to have you all here this morning. And so today, the purpose of our event, excuse me one second. The purpose of our event today is to really introduce to you all the work that we're doing here at the New Black Wall Street Market, and also Mr. Allen's vision for the New Black Wall Street International Village, and how we really bring development to a Black community, and how we do it in a first-class way. So I'm excited. We want you to meet some of the members here who are part of this first kind of initial project, which is the New Black Wall Street Market, which is actually the pilot for the New Black Wall Street International Village. So we're gonna dig in today, and really one of the greatest things, we were talking with the mayor before we came on, we're really excited to hear what you all have to say, and we're really excited to figure out how we can connect to this community and how we can work closer with this community and really be a model city for the country. So we're super excited to have this event today. We also wanted to recognize and give them an opportunity to come before you, a couple of business owners that stepped up to the plate and helped us out in order to make this event happen. And so your breakfast this morning was sponsored by Mr. Leighton Hall, who owns the Bojangles at Panola and also at Turner Hill Road. And so we wanted to give him an opportunity just to come before you and talk about Bojangles and his commitment to our community. So Mr. Leighton Hall, please.
Thank you, guys, sir. Good morning again. I said hello earlier, but if you don't mind, I'll say it again. How was breakfast? I put some crumbs on my outfit. There's the crumbs right there. That biscuit. As I said earlier, it's really been a real pleasure being part of the Stonecrest community. I gotta tell you, I operate in other communities around the country, but this is a real delight for a whole lot of reasons. And not, with one being the fact that I can look out at a crowd like this and see people who look like me. This is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I tell you, when I first built the store over on Panola Road, I'm from California, for those who don't know that, but when I came here from California, now California has a whole lot of folks, a lot of African-American people, I mean, everywhere, but not concentrated like in this county. So when we built the store over on Panola, every time I was on the phone talking to friends back in California, it was an honor to tell them how many Black people who come to the stores every day. I've never had this experience, and it has been a real pleasure to serve us, to serve you. So thank you so much for the opportunity. Again, thanks to our host, Bill Allen.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. And I think Ms. Hall had to go back and make some breakfast and get paid for them breakfasts, all right? So Mrs. Belinda Hall of Belinda's Southern Cuisine right there at Mall Parkway, Mall Ring rather, she also was one of our sponsors, and so she gets an opportunity to come back. We certainly want her to come before you all as well. And so now we would like to, before we get into the community forum, we are super honored to have our mayor here with us this morning. And so we want to give her an opportunity to come before you and just as our mayor, kind of help us put a button on this event and give you all more of her platform around economic development and business development here in Stonecrest. Mayor Cobb.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning. It's great to see that you got up on a cold Saturday morning, but I guess the hot breakfast is a good incentive too. Again, thank you so much for your support for our community. Right, this shows that it's not just about what other people can do, but that you're willing to also be a part of the story, that you're willing to get ideas, share ideas, so that we can be one connected community, building our community together, and that's extremely important. So I certainly am excited to be here with you, to hear your feedback, to exchange and conversation, to hear how we can move Stonecrest forward together And we always say forward together because it takes the entire connected community to do that. So I just wanted to say thank you, one, for being here. There is so much that we have in front of us. I say often that Stonecrest best is still yet to come. The potential that we have and realize that potential is out of this world. And so we're working every day as hard as we can. We are working to make sure that we fulfill that. The promises that you had back when we were established in 2017 and all the things that you want to see come, we're working on that. Stepstones every day to lay a good foundation so that 10, 20, 30 years from now, we'll be exactly what we want to be and even more. So thank you again for coming out. Thank you for committing to your community. Thank you for being engaged, involved, vocal, and a participant in our community because it's one connected community that surely makes us successful. Thank you, man.
Awesome. Thank you, Mayor Jasmine Cobble. Can we give it up for that? Absolutely. I also want to recognize Dr. Beverly Jones, City of Stone Mountain. May you please stand. This is the mayor of the City of Stone Mountain. Give her a round of applause. Dr. Beverly Jones. And please stay tuned for our Mayor's Roundtable. At the end of this session, we will have Mayor Jasmine Cobble, Dr. Beverly Jones, and as well Beverly Burks, the mayor of Clarkston. All three of them will be sitting at one table, you know, having a round table, looking for solutions for us. So, and do we have any other elected officials in the building? All right, come on, stand up. This is our very own Alicia Washington. Y'all give it up for her. She actually replaced the seat that Mayor Jasmine Cobble was in. Thank you so much for being here. And she was, let me tell you, she's humble because she's a volunteer and still is a volunteer at the new Black Wall Street Market. Don't look for nothing from it. So thank you for all that you do. All right, and now I wanted to bring up two of our merchants here in the new Black Wall Street Market. We have Airmax and we have Negro League. Can you come up here if you're in the place? All right, and then we have Zoet Beauty Supply. I want you to come up here and talk about your business. This is actually what, this is your third location. Second, and you just went online. That's what's up. All right, y'all give it up for them as they come.
We are the owners of Zoet Beauty Supply, so we do have Black-owned beauty supply products that we are looking to not just distribute in the community, but we want a place so that our people can come and shop comfortably. We want to be a pillar for you guys to come and ask your questions, whether it's simple hair growth, whether you've had an ailment or something like that. But again, we just want to create a special place for you guys to come and get the products that you need and feel welcome. Like, we're a family. We strive on making sure that we create an environment for everyone.
And just because she didn't say it, she's Shars, and I'm Dana. I'm the only person that doesn't speak, but I'll grab the mic this time. Another thing I wanted to highlight too is that for the ones who don't know, that out of all of the beauty supply stores, less than 3% are Black owned. And even with that fact, we face a lot of racism on the back end that we won't publicly come out and speak about. But just know that our industry is a very hard industry, although we're 100%, almost 100% supported by African Americans. So I just wanted to put that fact out there with you all. And where you can find us, of course, we're right here inside of the Black Wall Street Market. We're on Bourbon Street, on the corner of Bourbon and Madam C.J. Walker. And then we're also in Mableton, off of Veterans Memorial Highway. That's our first store that we opened in 2019. And then we also came here as well. We've been part of this movement since New Black Wall Street actually first opened from the very beginning. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Wow, less than 3%. Give it up for them. That's amazing. We can only imagine what you're going through on that back end. And next, we're going to bring up Negro League. Her store is called Black Before You. Come on up here, Kim. Her stuff is licensed, Negro League apparel. Every time you spend money with her, a portion of the monies go to those charities that she has all over, Tuskegee Airmen and Buffalo Soldiers, and also the Negro League. So give it up for her as she comes and speak before you today.
Morning. Well, he did say a lot, but our company, Black Before You, we are actually a merchandising company specializing specifically in Negro League, Buffalo Soldiers, and Tuskegee Airmen. We tell people, we allow people to stylishly celebrate their accomplishments. We do it as an educational partnership because we recognize that a lot of people do not make it to the Negro League Museum, to the Buffalo Soldier Museum, to the Tuskegee Airmen Museum and Association. So we want to make sure that we're basically bringing that information to you. It is Black History Month, so we obviously are really emphasizing their importance, because if it wasn't for them, we stand on the shoulders of all of them. From a business standpoint, from a history standpoint, this is also Women's History Month. So, you know, we do a lot of speaking and educating on not just the history of the organization, but recognizing the women. There was a female Buffalo Soldier. There were women that contributed to the Tuskegee Airmen. There were 3 women in the Negro League. Just making sure that the history is known and that you look good representing it. My shop is at the corner of Bourbon and Gaston, and we've got blackbeforeyou.com, black letter B, number 4 letter U. And we do jerseys, jackets. I just happen to have on one of our hoodies.
Okay, all right.
But anyway, feel free to check us out. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Our logo is empowering our future by honoring and preserving our past, and obviously everyone here is doing just that. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Give it up for Kim. Thank you so much. Let me get out the way. I almost tripped her. All right. And now may I have all the business owners that are in the new Black Wall Street Market stand up? I would like to recognize you that's in the building. Stand up so the people can see you. Thank you, 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 thank you. All right. Now we're going to get our presentation moving right along. Next, we will have a presentation by Mr. Matthew Hampton, and I'm going to bring him up right now. And actually, I want to be able to tell you all that that 1 million challenge board that you see when you come in here, if you wanted our first breakfast, that is our declaration for this place. We want 1 million visitors in 2023. How can you help us do that? By bringing more people and sharing the word, and every time we post, put it on Facebook, Instagram, tell people great things about us. Don't listen to the negativity. Talk about your experience that you had. I really appreciate y'all for being here. Here's Matthew Hampton.
You stole the thunder of my whole presentation. How y'all doing today? Good, good, good. All right, we, you know, this meeting kind of reminds me of a situation that we really feel like we're a match. We're the perfect match for Stonecrest. And it makes me think about this joke I heard once. Y'all let me share it with you. So this guy goes and he gets on the plane and he sits down next to this very beautiful woman, you know, and this, you know, you think that's just a fine, you want to chat it up a little bit. So he's looking at her and he says, you know, what kind of men do you like? And so she says, well, you know, I love Indian men with their high cheekbones and their golden bronze skin. And, you know, I just love that about Indian men. And, you know, I just really love Jewish men. You know, they go out there and they get that money and they're so confident. I just love that about Jewish men. And, you know, but I also just love a good old Southern boy, you know. And those are the kind of men I like. And so she was like, now, what is your name? And he looked at her and he said, well, my name is Geronimo Bernstein, but my friends call me Bubba. Somebody can get that one. Okay, that one. We're gonna put that one back. So I guess the Jewish joke don't work for black folks. All right, so let me talk about something I do know, entrepreneurship. Can we go ahead and bring the house lights down for me? Daryl, if you would please bring the house lights down. Somebody, Lord has to go do something else. Teron. So as we start this conversation around the new Black Wall Street Market and the new Black Wall Street International Village, we really want to have just a moment for you all to kind of understand who we are and what our mission is all about and the things that we're doing here in this community. You go to the next slide, please, Teron. So the new Black Wall Street Market is a project of the Allen Entrepreneurial Institute. For many of you who live in Stonecrest, that's down the street. Our main campus is where the big lions are, and that big white building that's right in front of that is not the parsonage for the pastor of Newburgh. That is actually our main campus, Camp Exposure. And that campus for the past 20 years has hosted young African-American children in particular, and Hispanic children. And we have had them come to that hotel to learn about entrepreneurship, to understand the mindset that it takes to become multimillionaires. And that's where we do our primary work there at the Allen Executive House, the Allen Conference Center, and also Miss Rebecca's house. We've played host to HBCUs, and many of you all may have attended, from FAMU to Tennessee State, Mississippi Valley State, Alabama State, and all of that has been done through the support of Mr. and Mrs. Allen as their mission to really achieve the mission that's behind us. And our mission, and I want y'all to understand, when you hear a lot of times companies talk about missions, it's like, oh, okay, This is something that Mr. Allen really lives by, like, every day, and he ingrained it in us. But our mission is to increase the size and the number of minority and women-owned businesses throughout the United States and globally. So everything that you ever see us doing is all designed to push us towards that mission. Next slide, please, Teron. Let's talk about Stonecrest. You know, God just ordained. Mr. Allen tells the story. He just like, I just came looking for land, and I said, let's go east, and he found this land. But you know, God puts things in order in such a dynamic way. When you look at Stonecrest, and you look at our city, we're a population of upwards of 60,000. Our average household income is $77,000. Our average homeowner occupied housing value is over $250,000. 38% of our folks are single residents with no children. 75% of us work in white-collar jobs, and the average age of folks in Stonecrest is 30. So we're young, we educated, and we got some bread, man. And there's not a lot of black communities that have stats like it. We're 97% black. So y'all bring it up for us. So what's so dynamic is that we have a community that has stats like this. If there's anywhere in the world where black folks should be creating a model and not be acting like ignorant black folks, it's here. So that's one of the things that I love about the Stonecrest numbers. Next slide, Karan. So this is back to Mr. Allen and his wife, Maddie Allen. Now, Mr. Allen is the out front person that's really don't like to be out front, but Mrs. Allen stays way, way, way in the background. But she certainly is part of the brain trust of what made this happen. She's certainly part of the brain trust of what we do. And so we always want to mention and honor her because she stays way, way, way in the background. So far in the background, I think she stays in Detroit most of the time. Mr. Allen was born and raised in Dumas, Arkansas. He moved to Detroit and became an entrepreneur there at a very young age. And ultimately, he was one of the pioneers of the charter school industry. And then he had a passion for entrepreneurship. And he had lived that American dream. And he said, I want to see more black folks live that same American dream. So that's why he does what he does. That's why he's not down in Sarasota, sitting by the beach, sipping on Mai Tais and golfing, but he's here in the cold with us in Georgia, working on entrepreneurship. So we wanted to certainly make sure you understood that. Again, I talked already a little bit about what we do at the Allen Entrepreneurial Institute in terms of hosting major HBCUs, training over 15,000 young people. When I talk about these young kids get a chance to come to a first-class hotel, they stay there for free. And when kids get there, I'll tell you the most interesting thing. They can't even get through the introduction because they cry. Because it's the first time that they've been in an environment like this and felt like I'm not being looked at like I'm not supposed to be here, but I'm being welcomed. And this is the way I'm supposed to be welcome in this kind of environment. I'm supposed to be appreciating this environment. And you see kids coming from some of the poorest communities in tears before they can even introduce to themselves who they are in their first session with Mr. Allen.
And that's real because that's actually how I met Mr. Allen at 12 years old, staying in at that hotel for a week, being introduced to the Prime Minister of Bahamas, the President of Kenya, all kinds of people that I would never be introduced to. And you see how it impacted me. So it impacts all of the kids that have been through that process, that are creating agents of change in the world. That's powerful.
Thank you for that, Ruben. That's great. Then about 8 years ago, Mr. Allen expanded upon his core operations at the main campus. We opened up the Startup Factory. And it was a great place for entrepreneurs to begin kind of cultivating and developing them from a co-working perspective. And also we did a lot of great events there up to COVID. And we're working to bring that back to the community because we know y'all want the Startup Factory back. So we're working there. And then also, Mr. Allen ultimately acquired 300 acres of commercial land that is basically all that land around the mall, most of the commercial land around Mall Parkway. Mr. Allen bought that land with a vision to really create a model city in Stonecrest. Next slide, please, Teron. So, how do you create a model city? Originally, our plan was we were going to go across the street, we were going to start building big buildings, and we were going to make that happen, and then George Floyd happened. And Mr. Allen came to me and he said, Matt, people are talking about systemic racism, and they're not talking about it in the hood, they're talking about it over here in Buckhead. Right now, especially coming up on the 100th-year anniversary of the burning of the original Black Wall Street, we have got to be taking action. So in the middle of the pandemic, Mr. Allen put us all back to work. We was at home, chilling, doing that virtual work thing. But he put us back to work, and we started working on this building to serve as a model for what he wants to develop in the new Black Wall Street International Village. And so this is our pilot project for what we want to do across the street. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm sorry, that is wrong. And so our first year of operation in 2022, we had over 246,993 visitors visit the new Black Wall Street Market. We had visitors from over 25 plus countries, including dignitaries from all kinds of countries, visit the new Black Wall Street Market. And now this is the one I really want y'all to give it up for. We now have, and Mayor, we got our business licenses too, okay? We now have over 170 new Black-owned businesses right here in the city of Stonecrest. The new Black Wall Street Market also has become a hotspot for events and entertainment, and we've had over 250 activations here, and activations are conferences, workshops, all kinds of things that bring Black folks together to celebrate our culture and who we are, happen right here at the new Black Wall Street Market in 2022. And then we've also been featured in over 25 national publications, articles. Thank you, Leslie, top 5 publicists. We've been all over the world, and we've represented Stonecrest, not a black city with a shoe, a black city that can't get it together, but we've represented Stonecrest as a model city and a city of excellence with the new Black Wall Street Market. So y'all give it up for you, especially our members of the new Black Wall Street Market. Next slide, Ron. So now let's talk about it. Here's how we really want to frame this conversation, right? In Georgia, tourism is a $64.5 billion industry. We are 30 minutes from the heartbeat of Atlanta, our strongest tourist attraction in the state of Georgia. We're 30 to 45 minutes from Hartsfield International Airport, the world's busiest airport. And so we feel that we are certainly poised to be a great tourist attraction with all the land that Mr. Allen has and with the development of the new Black Wall Street Market International Village. So what we're looking at and how we want to really get you guys to look and think that we have 300 acres of commercial land to develop. We really know that this is the heartbeat of in the downtown for Stonecrest, Georgia. We have increased revenue for the city. And when we increase revenue and create businesses, that decreases the burden that has to be placed on our citizens. So we've increased that revenue. Our land is near I-20. We feel that we're perfectly poised to work with the entertainment and tourist community and create a tourism district right here in Stonecrest. And again, one of the things that's a very key subject, and we all were talking about this in the back, the way that we get, and we all know, like, we need better restaurants here. I mean, we love Elizabeth, we love Bojangles, we love Arizona. But you can only go to Arizona so many times before you go want a little PF chain, a little Cheesecake Factory, a little Chris Root. We know that we have that clientele, but we also know we gotta have a more dense community. We gotta have more rooftops in order to meet that challenge. And this is our opportunity to do very innovative and modern development here in Stonecrest. Mr. Allen was just sitting down with the investors of some tiny home developments down by the airport. So a lot of what we want the future of Stonecrest to be, we feel like we're poised to be there. And ultimately, as citizens, what most folks, your biggest investment is your house. And so you want to see that value increase. You want to have increased property values so that you can do the things that expand your family and expand your fortune. I see all my real estate agents dying out in the back. There you go. I see. All right. So we want to just kind of frame this for you all today and frame our conversation around how do we move Stonecrest forward. Next slide, please. We feel that we're a model city for America, and specifically a model city for Black America. I think we can improve our restaurant experiences, increase home values, increase our quality of life. Let's have a great time. It needs to be like, you know how you like, I have friends that live by the Beltline. They always come out, oh yeah, we just gonna pop out to this concert. You know what I'm saying? I got some amens in the crowd. And looking at, and here's the other thing that I think is great. You know, there were some things happening. I won't get into the details of city politics here today. But Mr. Allen wanted to slow down how we approach the development and how we classify some of the land around the mall. And he said, Matt, we don't need to move too quickly on this land because I want to be in a position to where Black folks, we ain't watching gentrification happen, but we're the investors who are putting our resources together, buying some of this land, and being able to be part of the gentrification process. So we want to make gentrification a positive. A thing where when people look around the country, they say, you know what? Black folks was the ones that gentrified that community. We can take a little gentrification here in Stonecrest. And also, we want this city, and we know look around the country. Go to LA, go to New York, go anywhere. Where do they have a new Black Wall Street market that's working with 200 Black businesses, and we're not just sitting around talking about the problems of Black folks? What Mr. Allen always tells us is, Matt, I'm tired of talking. This man is about action and about solutions. And so we're doing all we can to bring solutions to our community rather than conversation. And so again, I think that my job today was just to kind of frame and make sure that we all kind of understood what we're doing and where we are. Now I believe, next slide, Ron. Now I believe that we just got to dig on in. And our vision is, we have some challenges that we're dealing with here. Ruben already introduced. Our goal is to bring 1 million visitors to New Black Wall Street Market in 2023. We want to talk about events and activations, how we engage our community. Richard and the folks in Pink Line have a great operation that does the Wednesday Pink Lemonade. Our seniors love it, and we're going to talk about that today. We want to talk about young people, families, and how we get our organizations involved, and then also how we can work to be the ambassadors for Stonecrest, the new Black Wall Street Market, because a rising tide lifts all boats. So as we sit down and bring the lights back up, there are kind of some questions that we want you to answer for us. We want you certainly to give us your question. How can our mission improve Stonecrest? How can we work together to advance Stonecrest? And then ultimately, how do we increase the GDP of Stonecrest? So Mr. Allen wanted us to put this forum together, ultimately so we can hear from you as community members. I'm going to have Chan, if you would, and also Mr. Lord Hester. Go ahead and grab your mics. I would like you all to be positioned in the room, and we're going to try to get to everybody possible in the room, but we do ask that you raise your hand, and we'll point out the people that we're going to bring the mics to. Lord Hester is right here. Chan, you have a microphone. Mayor Cabo and Mr. Allen, you all can take the stage. So we'll do our Q&A, and then we'll have final comments from Mr. Allen. So if you have a question or comment, we go ahead and you can raise your hand, and then we'll go ahead and get started. The young lady in the back. Stand up, for
Good morning, kings and queens.
Good morning.
I appreciate our sister queens, the mayors coming here today. This is very apropos for who we are as a people right now and coming together. For the last 5 or so years, and I'm gonna make this brief, but I'm gonna make this point. For the last 5 or so years, we always talk about the increase in Black businesses. There is no lack in the increase of Black businesses, but there is a lack in the increase of Black people supporting Black businesses. This is what we have to do. So when I look at this poster behind me of the 1 million It's not 1 million visitors, it's 1 million people catching the vision that we have to become 1 million consumers on a consistent basis of Black products, Black ideas, Black people, and Black services. I yield the mic to the next person.
Good morning, my name is Her Excellency Shantae Lene Herford, and I am a business owner in the area, and I love the opportunities presented here today. I would just like to recommend that we add crowdfunding, equity investment crowdfunding as a component so that the community can invest and be stakeholders.
Good morning, my name is Rhonda Shakir Ferguson, and I'm the author of 3 books. And I'm an inventor of 6 patents for the United States. And I'm having the hardest, difficult time because, I don't know, because I'm a minority woman and I have these inventions to help save lives. The hospital have taken one of my patents and they have ran off with it and they're saving lives on the floor as we speak. I just need a mentor, and I was wondering, with the program, is there anything left for those of us like myself with 6 patents and 3 children's books? Is there any mentors or any help that I can get from the Black Wall Street?
I think the answer to that is yes. I would like to give you 2 people to connect with. One is the owner of ELDA Bookstore here in the New Black Wall Street Market. She has an extensive history in the children's book part of what you asked about. And the second person would be Tawana Houston, who runs our federally funded NAVGA program, where we can help you figure out how to take those innovations and how to work with SBA resources to get the capital that you need and the mentoring that you need. And then also Tawana has a number of training sessions coming up with our NAVGA program. Tawana, can you raise your hand? Are you in the building? So see Tawana and then go to the bookstore and see Cynthia. Cynthia in the room? Here's Cynthia. You need to meet Cynthia on your children's book concept. Okay. We'll go to Lord's person and then we'll come back to your person saying that.
Test.
Sure. Good morning to everyone. I'm Reverend Dr. Kears. Sandra's my first name, my husband, Elder Kears. He doesn't like to be noticed. But anyway, I appreciate what I'm seeing here today, and I am already connected with Ms. Chambry, Cynthia, also with Mr. Ivory in the mall. I frequent here, and I really appreciate and love the concepts. But I have a company called SAS Productions, and it's the Singing Sunflower, because I used to be the school nurse and worked with handicapped children for many years. So what God has given to me is a media type of thing, but I'm also doing animation. So my end result is to get all of my things on television, just like Mr. Rogers. But I also spoke with Ms. Cynthia about possibly coming in here and drawing more of our children in here with the Singing Sunflower and other things that we may do. So I already have a book in her store, and it's called The Crown is Cast Down. It's one of the prophetic summaries that I wrote before COVID, that I didn't know anything about it, but I talked about it and I have the summary as that book in her store. So I really do appreciate everything. Thank you, all of you in leadership positions, Mr. Allen particularly. I'm also a part of the Southern Crescent Women in Business, and I'm featured in the magazine for the fall on the front page. So I really appreciate you. I hope you all will also get into that and find that magazine. It's at Barnes & Noble's. I know it started in McDonough and other places, but anyway, I'm more than happy. I've signed up already to be a volunteer challenger. So I love it because marketing is my thing. I worked for AT&T for many years, but I also have a lot of hats on and I need the help and I'm not afraid to ask. God bless you all and thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I am happy to be here. I'm happy to see the support that New Black Wall Street has. Just want to share something with you. One day, Jimmy and I, my husband, was going down the expressway when I first moved in the area, and I saw a water tank in Gwinnett County that said, "Success lives here." It brought such a warm feeling in my heart. I thought, what is this county all about? I want us to have signs up saying, we are the city of Stonecrest. This is where success lives. Or we can say, we have got to start tooting our own horn, telling people how proud we are of this city, how we have the best leaders, how we just got to start tooting our own horn. It's time out for any negativity towards anybody. It's time for us to rise up.
May I add to Ms. Clanton's statement? First, let me recognize some of the other city council members that are in the room. Councilwoman Lisa Washington is here. We recognized her before, but also our Mayor Pro Tem, George Turner, has joined us as well. And our former council member, Jimmy Clanton, is here joining us as well. Good to see you. You're absolutely right, Edwin, and from the city side of things, we have budgeted for that this year. We have different pockets of money, not your taxes, because we do not levy a tax from you yet. And that those monument signs, those wayfinding signs, have been budgeted for design for this year. So we hope to see those designs. We'll put them out in front of our community, get your feedback on kind of which design we should go with. We've also budgeted for what is the name of those things? They go on the poles, the light poles, the ribbon, you have them up now. The banners that go on the light poles. Of course, our city is 38 square miles, which is a lot of road. So they won't be on every single light pole. But we do want to put it kind of down and around the epicenter of what we call the heart of Stonecrest. So those things are certainly on the way. I mentioned that we're doing that out of our budget without a tax implication to you, because I want you to understand that there are some things that we are able to do without having to come to you at all, because we feel like those things are basic. Those things are what a city should just have to begin to invest in that story, to champion that story. Without you saying a word, you know you're in Stonecrest. We're working with DOT to get signs on I-20 to say the next 3 exits, you are in the city of Stonecrest, coming from downtown Atlanta and coming from Conyers and Newton, Covington down to Stonecrest. We have DOT's working on an I-20-285 bridgescape and interchange project. And in that, we are working to design a bridgescape so that the bridges at Panola Road, Hillendale and Turner Hill have bridgescapes. So when you do come to Stonecrest, you'll see Stonecrest or some version of that. And there's a lot of architect and design that goes into that. So I won't go down that rabbit hole, but we are actively trying to get things that are just common to when anyone comes to Stonecrest, whether you're a visitor or you live here, you know you are in the city of Stonecrest. So we are certainly working on that. Those design plans are funded for this year.
Before we continue, I'd like to again express to Ms. Clanton thank you for the statement of us working together. I'm not going to say all that. I will have a few more remarks later, but one of the things that the key thing that this meeting this morning is about is to have us come together and be together, to have a vision together. And that's why I am so pleased to have 2 of our council members here, as well as our mayor, who is the leader of the city, and you as a community to work with us. And the positive tone. We want to stay on a positive tone of working together as much as possible. So again, we appreciate all of your comments and all of your input, but we especially want you to The optimist streak says, look on the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true. So again, let us continue with our comments and remarks.
Who's next?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Brenda Stinson, and I live here in the Stonecrest community. I'm actually client CIO for General Electric. My degree is in engineering from Georgia Tech. I'm sorry. Talk into the mic. There we go. Okay. So my question is, what types of things are you doing to bring those technology companies into this community? Because that's going to help you reach your $1 million challenge, I think.
Good morning. My name is Angela Patrick, and I'm with the NBWSM, DeKalb County, and we're also connected statewide and national. Can you hear me? Okay. One of the things that's going to light up Stonecrest is when you get that event center built. When we do our Freedom Fund dinner, we seat we got to be able to seat 500 to 600 people at that dinner, okay, or more. That will bring a lot of people into the area. When you talk about per capita income, yes, we got people living in South DeKalb that makes that kind of money, but they have to leave South DeKalb to go to the jobs. They're not out here, you know. So with the available land that we have out here, event center is one of the big things that will bring people not only metropolitan Atlanta-wide, Georgia State, the whole state of Georgia, and around the nation here. So event center is one of the main things that we need to do.
Thank you for that. I'm going to try to answer both questions at the same time. And I'll answer that from a city perspective, and then I'll pass it on to Mr. Allen or Matt to answer it from a Wall Street market perspective. So, you asked about what are we doing to help bring technology industry to the city of Stonecrest. And that is certainly a part of almost at the very top, outside of investment, of our economic development efforts. We have been approached by a few different technology companies who are interested in coming to Stonecrest. So that is something that's already on our radar. A lot of the decision about what comes and how it comes is so much more than just sitting down and having a conversation. The first step is the conversation. After that, it's a whole lot of other things, zoning, tax abatement. There's all kinds of conversations that come with that. But we recognize the importance of being able to not only increase jobs, but increase jobs in very specific areas. Technology is one of them. Some things I can disclose, some things I can't. But so you know that we have a few that are already sitting down with our economic development department. And we're hoping to be able to see that turn very quickly. With certainly one of our efforts. Absolutely.
And also,
sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
We'll stay on that topic and then we'll go to the event.
Yeah, I wanted to pass it to Mr. Allen to talk about his vision for the event center and bringing together the conference center as a part of the international village, because I think it addresses exactly what the young lady from the NAACP was talking about.
Before I ended up purchasing the land in 2019, the conversation on this land started in 2018. So what is my point? My point is Rome was not built in a day. It takes a lot of time, and as the mayor said, believe me, this thing is a lot more complicated than some of you. It's like going shopping with no money in your pocket down in Saks Fifth Avenue. You can pick out all the stuff you want, but it's a little bit more, involved. Okay, that's the first thing you need to know. Okay, I'll give you people. So when there's a whole issue that a lot of us do not understand, and the mayor touched on it just briefly, and we cannot make this event today and giving you a 0 to whatever amount of lesson about how these things are created. But one of them has to do with tax abatement and public-private partnerships. And a lot of people don't understand there is no free lunch. In every city that has made progress, there has to be some cost passed on, and this is what the people don't like. They want to eat the lunch, but they don't want to pay for it. I'm not an elected official, so I know you all are gonna vote for me. I'll say some stuff that the elected officials can't say. Even you had a free breakfast this morning, but guess what? Somebody paid for it, and that was Bojangles and Belinda. And the one before then, I paid for it, okay? And a few others. So it may have been free to you, but somebody paid. Now, I know you didn't ask me that, but I had to get to the root of the problem, okay? Now, I was gonna wait my turn back, but I've got to say a few more things. You saw some beautiful pictures up here of different things. I don't know, can we go back to the slide? Can you find the slide with the hotel, the first one? Not this one, not that one, or that one. See that right there? Okay, look to the left. See that low tile building to the left? That is a design convention center, and that will hold, you were asking about 500 to 600. It was designed to hold 2,000 at one setting. Okay? Please applaud for something positive. If I'm gonna dream big, because it doesn't cost anymore. Now the problem is, now this hotel here, I think it's kind of fancy. We want nice hotels. We want something other than little low-rise hotels, right? But this hotel is 16 stories, and so in my retirement years, I should have been retired many, many, many years ago. Okay, I'm way past retirement age. See that top floor up there? Part of that was going to be my residence up there. I'm dreaming now. I might as well dream big, okay? So, you know, I'm one of those Christian believers that when God says he owns, you know, the cattle on 1,000 wheels and all this, and I'm a prince, I'm an heir to the kingdom, if you believe it, God is follow me. Ain't nothing wrong with it. If he owns all that stuff, I can own a little something. So that's what I own. But let me tell you, when I started digging into how do you bring those dreams into fruition, people, my secret has been prayer and work. And to stop looking for other folks to do something that we need to do for ourselves. Okay? I am tired of us demeaning what we can do for ourselves and looking for other people to do. But again, I'm gonna say, ain't no free lunch now. So you've got to educate yourselves. So I went on an education rampage. So how many of you have ever been to Avalon? Okay, a few of you. Well, let me just tell you, this whole community and this, even though it's more traditional, I went out and saw Avalon and say, you know what? If they can do this in Alpharetta, we can do this in Stonecrest. I believe it. I may not be able to achieve it, but we've got to focus on something good and what happened. But I had to find out that they have a conference center right next door to them. And found out that the city of Alpharetta, in order to get these hotel people to come and invest, at that time it was about 80 to 90 million dollars, as opposed to building a low-rise hotel that cost at that time anywhere from 6 to 10 million. This is an 80 to 90 million dollar hotel. The city had to give them the money to build the conference center. Now, I use the word give because that's how we see it. The city had to invest there because they're going to get more money back in the way of taxes of a hotel and all of that. When you look at College Park, and we looked at that, and I'm not, like I said, you got me going on this thing. I'm going to try to explain some things to you. The attorneys that once worked for the city of Stonecrest were instrumentally involved in building that conference center around the airport there, which is in College Park. That conference center, what have you, was losing approximately $1.5 or $1.8 million a year, which means it had to be picked up initially. But guess what? When you look at all the hotels and things and all the business that came in to College Park there, they were taking in, before it was left, I think about $19 million in the black. But it took a few years for them to invest in a lost product in order to do that. Now, I'll stop there. I'll only make one point. We know that what you want, but we want you to hear it. We want to hear it from you again. But what we are trying to get you to have confidence in, as they say in church, and I'll stop here, rather than just run my mouth, may the work I've done and the money I have spent speak for me. Thank you.
I think we're getting somewhere, Ms. Allen. And I'm gonna look over here at my staff because I want them to gauge how deep in this rabbit hole I go. Ms. Allen said something important. I just want to make sure that it's resonating in the right place. He said that the city gave, and then he defined give. I'm gonna take that one step further. This is where I want you to watch me. When he said the city, he didn't mean the mayor. He means the citizens.
That's it.
He means the citizens through a tax. Not a checkbook, not a one-time donation to a campaign fund for reaching the million visitor challenge. He didn't mean the one time you come to Black Wall Street Market and spend a couple dollars here. When he said the city, he means through a tax on the citizens. So when we say connected community, investing in what we want, the city's gonna do its part. The city's gonna talk through what cities talk through: tax abatements, incentives, property rezonings, right? The city's gonna do its part. The city's gonna make regulations that allow uses that the city wants to have, that brings the entertainment experiences, the family experiences. The city legislators are gonna do our part, but the city doesn't write the $80 million check. That's an investment from the entire community. And see, that's the conversation. I'm coming out the rabbit hole, I promise. It's an election year. I'm coming out the rabbit hole. That's the conversation that we've got to have. That pointed, focused conversation. Because it's great to get in a room and brainstorm the ideas about what we want in our community. But it's different when we're just looking at one person to write the check, or one government to miraculously come up with $100 million with no taxes. And I made the point about levying no taxes before because I want you to understand that what you have today is based on no taxes into the city of Stonecrest. You're paying taxes for services to the CAB for police, fire, water, sewer, roads. Our economic development is based not on taxes. So one day we'll have a real town hall meeting, not to say this one isn't real, but I mean a real down homegrown conversation about what are we willing to invest, because the city, when he says that, he means through the community, through a tax. Not the mayor.
And I think, Mayor, I want to chime in on that too, because I think it's important as the private sector that we bring that conversation to the community, because as an elected official, it's dangerous for you to go out there and say, I'm gonna have to read about the taxes. But I think that we as the private sector, we need to bring that to the community, and we need to invite the public officials into that conversation. But folks, let's get focused, because if we think about this, if we as the citizens put the money up and say we're committed to having an event center, we for sure can go out in the community and find a hotel partner that wants to come in and leverage some of these black dollars. So there are some very common sense things that I believe our community of intelligent, 74% white collar folks, we can understand these things. And if we're focused and we see the result of the tax, we see the result of having an entertainment center, we have an amphitheater, a place we can go and enjoy concerts, go and have our big conference with the Deltas and our different organizations at our event center, and then stay at a nice hotel. Hey, we can make it happen. Or AKA.
My daughter's AKA.
Okay, AKA, Delta Mom, and single again, we're all okay. Don't let me divide it, so we're trying to bring us together here. I'm sorry. But I believe we can get it done. That's my point.
Let me give you just a little bit of an economic lesson, how to get this done. Now, I know a lot of people heard about the tax abatement, and they don't understand it. All they gave, let me tell you. First of all, think in terms about what we're talking about. Any time that you give a little something and get back a return that's way greater than what you give, that's not a giveaway, that's an investment. So some of us, because we don't have economic understanding, only see things as a giveaway. Now, through various methods, tax abatement, there's different type of community taxes. What's the one was under President Trump? I can never remember what he had. But it's opportunity zones. Unfortunately, Stonecrest was just coming into existence when they created what is called an opportunity zone. So, it's very complicated, but let me try to explain it a little bit. When you want something, you want to buy a house, and that house, I'm just using some of today's figures, costs $250,000. And you don't have $250,000. You have to get what they call a mortgage. So you have to qualify for that mortgage. And some of us may only qualify for a $200,000 house, and we don't have the $50,000. So you have to have what is known as creative financing in order for you to get, and you can pay it, and if they, you're in a good job situation, you're going to get increases on your job, and you can eventually handle it. So think of it as a creative way to say to people, this development along with the other part of it, guess what the number was 5 years ago, and it's more than that now. it was $1 billion. Now I got a little money, but I ain't got no $1 billion, okay? So that means I gotta go and get somebody, some group that has $1 billion. And let's just be real. I'm looking at the room, I don't care if it was some white folk here, but it's all black. Ain't many black folk running around with $1 billion, and they especially ain't gonna put it in the Stonecrest, okay? And they ain't gonna put it no place else either. Your celebrities and what have you, they give a little something, but they ain't gonna put out no real money. So you have to go to the Wall Street people, you have to go to investors, and they're gonna wanna know what's in it for me. Why should I take a risk to come to an all-black area? That's why it took 20 years to build the Stonecrest Mall, because the people that had the money were debating, because this community was turning all black, whether they should put it here or put it further out in Conyers. Now, some of you know the history of this, or further out. And by the way, I'm still in contact at breakfast just Wednesday morning with the people who developed all Stonecrest, including the mall. And the county had to build all kinds of infrastructure, roads and everything, before they could finally then put out a lot of money. So you were paying for it whether you know it or not. And then they finally built the mall. Right now we're in a struggle to keep this mall here because they're suffering from not having enough density where people come all during the week. They do pretty good on the weekend in the restaurants and things. And then some of you, well, I don't go on in tiny houses. Listen, those density of houses built around in the heart of the mall area is not going to impact your property negatively. It's going to impact your property positively. Now, it's going to impact your property positively. Any realtors in the building, if you disagree with me, tell me right now, because you understand how real estate values go. So it's going to make, there's a crisis in metropolitan Atlanta right now. The cost of housing is too expensive. Young people, like this young man, he's a graduate of Morehouse, they can't afford, they want to live in an area where they can walk to restaurants, they want to live in an area where they can walk downstairs to the cleaners, and he's college educated, you know, he ain't getting paid too much now. The mayor already put in for a raise, but for him. But I want people like him. You should want people like him. And it's okay if a few white folk come on in here. It's all right. I ain't anti-white. I'm just pro-white folk. Okay? But let me just tell you, when they pay $190, and we were going to show some of those bad, is it up? We're not going to do it now? Okay, we ain't going to do it. Okay, we didn't get that. They're doing these developments, and these new places that are contemporary looking, they still cost $190,000 to $350,000. You could put probably 10 of them in this room, but that's what the young people want. Now I know some of my generation, I wouldn't want to live. I got some closets that side. But that's what they want. They don't want the sprawling lawn. But for the people who want the sprawling lawns, yours will become more valuable. Yours will become more valuable. And you can drive to those restaurants every other week, and for birthday especially. But those people, they're going to spend their money there at least 2 or 3 times a week. And that's what will get you the Whole Foods. That's what will get you, what's the other restaurants you like? The Papa Joe's. I've been working with them down in Texas and what have you. That's where we get you the Cheesecake Factory, all those things. You're going to go on your mama's birthday or somebody's birthday, but they're going to go all the time. So I'm just breaking it down to you. Now let me tell you the bad news. You can sit as bad if you want to. When we get to that point, whatever your house is worth, if it was worth $150,000, it's going to be worth $200,000. If it was worth $250,000, it's going to be worth $300 and some thousand. But guess what? Your taxes don't go up. But if you invest where your taxes go up by $300 and you don't get a $50,000 return, that makes good economic sense. I'm trying to sell some of the property, that I have bought 10, 20 years ago, and I hate when I have to pay taxes on it. I'm talking about for the increase, or you call the value of the house. But I'm glad it didn't go down in value. But I got to pay those big taxes. There's no free lunch. That's the only thing I'm trying to say to you all. So let's have a different thinking and let's move forward. We have a right to own more in this country. We have a right, which was built much on the backs of slavery, to own more. We have a right to own larger businesses. Miss Belinda, wave your hand. Now this lady, let's give her a round. I'm telling you, she is a worker. She just took a minute to come back. I'm going to stop at least have a word. Is there a mic there? Give her a mic.
Okay, I got a mic here. I got a mic here.
Yes, Bill. Bill is the greatest man that I know. And I was on by his side when he had the vision to do Black Wall Street. And we did a tax abatement. We did a tax, I'm the president of Stonecrest Development Authority. We did a tax abatement for the Black Wall Street. I called holy hell from the citizens because we gave that tax abatement. But people could not understand the importance of trying to do this, to build this city. I'd opened a restaurant because I love Stonecrest. I'm a realtor, been with RE/MAX 33 years, and I'm still selling real estate. But I did the restaurant for the community because I love this community. And Bill is the greatest man that I have ever known in my entire life. This man has given his all. And he didn't need to, but he wanted to. And he just wanted to make sure that Black people prospered and could be just as successful as any other race. But people still, it's just so hard to satisfy us. But please give this man a round of applause. I know.
Let me tell you all a quick story about Belinda. She's now these are not the tiny halls I'm talking about. But that's all right, Matt. Let me tell you a quick story. I know all of you are not religious, but I happen to be a strong believer that we are purposed in this life to do things, and that if we follow our purpose, God has said He would be with us. He hasn't told us it would be easy. But it was after a meeting of the Stonecrest Development Authority, about 5 or 6 years ago, that Belinda happened to be talking to a group of people and said that the land that was supposed to be the soccer fields and all of that, and the other was back on the market. And I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth. I'm a businessman. I'm a Christian, but I'm a businessman. I believe in economic making money. So I ain't gonna tell you, okay? And if I hadn't made any money, I couldn't be doing what I'm trying to do to help the community. And I want more Black people to make some money so that you can give back to the community, okay? I want to see more Black millionaires. I ain't jealous. In fact, if y'all come up with that billion before I leave here, come on over here and invest it with us. But this is the point of the story I want to tell you. I listened to the conversation. She wasn't even talking to me, Belinda. And I said, you know what, Matt? Did the man that developed Stonecrest say he wanted to meet with me? Call that man up. What's his name? And called up the guy who represents Cadillac Fairview. And I don't know if you all know this, that the original developers of the mall at Stonecrest is Cadillac Fairview. It's a white company out of Canada. Guess how much they're worth? 42 billion, not million. So this is just a little something here in Stonecrest. And anyway, I met with them, and the long and short of it is, I wanted to buy the land. I had no vision, but God gave me a vision. I was gonna buy this land because I thought it was pretty cheap, and I'm gonna flip it like in real estate. Interview real estate people know what I'm talking about, flipping property. Oh, I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna make me a couple $1 million and go on about my business, going back down to Florida. And, but see, when you are destined to do something, God works in mysterious ways. There was a documentary that came on television in 2019 about the burning of Tulsa. The Black Wall Street, where the name came from. And like most people, most Black people, I got mad, I got angry, and I kept on saying, now somebody ought to do something, And the word came to me, why don't you do something? I'm gonna give the word to you. Why don't you do something? Don't just talk about it. You can do something. And so the idea came, why hasn't somebody built another Black Wall Street in almost 100 years? And I just couldn't believe it. With all the wealth that we have in this country and all the Black people who are much more wealthier than I am, why haven't they had the consciousness to build a new Black Wall Street? Well, you know what? Rather than start looking at what the Bible is, the mote or the beam in somebody else's eye, look at your own eye. I said, well, why don't you do what you can do? And that's where the vision of the building came. And then came COVID. You know the old saying in church, I ain't gonna let nothing or nobody turn me around. I said, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna put a shovel in the ground somewhere. And that's how we happen to end up taking the Turner building, which we bought earlier, to create the model. And it's been an uphill battle, not just with us as a people, but to get us to see the vision. And some people have shared with me, and some people this morning said, thank you. And I used to hear older people say, sometimes just to hear a kind word. And I appreciate, just to thank you, because I'm gonna tell you something. Through the grace of God, I have made a lot of money in my life. But the Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required. I am simply, rather than go and say, I got mine and y'all get y'all, I'm gonna try to do what I can to help us as a people see our potential, see what we can really do if we work together and not against one another. Thank you. Thank you, Belinda.
Actually, there's another event There's the 100 Black women of DeKalb County are doing, and they're going to move into this room. Now, what I want to say to you all is, and I know there are a lot of hands that we didn't have time to get to today, and I appreciate that. I'm going to speak prophetically on Mr. Allen's resources here. We need to come back together as a community. We've opened up the dialogue with this meeting, but we really need to come back, and I think we need to have an action-oriented meeting where we sit down and one group talks about hotels, one group talks about real estate development, one group, and we need to come up with action items. I ain't talking about having no conference, let's the conference and talk and pontificate on the problems. But I'm talking about us coming back together to take action. So one of the things that, I will commit that we will have that convening in the next 30 to 60 days, because I know a lot of you all have something burning on your heart that you want to get out. But we've got to go into the next event. It starts at 11, or it's supposed to start at 11. So one of the things I'm going to ask you all to do is, one, sign that little wall in the back, the 1 million challenge. Also, see the folks in the back if you want to be an ambassador, if you want to work with us on some of these topics that are burning in your chest that you need to get out, please do that. Because I know we have rich talent here in Stonecrest. We got a great film commission. We need to be doing Black film festivals. We need to be bringing conferences together. There is so much work to do. But again, we opened up the dialogue today. But we will come back together. We will continue to work. And so again, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Please, if you want to get more involved with what we're doing, I know my merchants got to go open up the market. If you want to get more involved in what we're doing, please accept our challenge. Please connect with the folks in the back. And then in about 10, 15 minutes, once we clear the room, the DeKalb County 100 Black women are going to come back and start their event.
Absolutely. So the 100 Black women, if you want to stay and actually talk to the 3 mayors for the roundtable discussion, they're about to come in here and they're going to have a roundtable with the mayor of Clarkson, Stone Mountain, and Stonecrest right in this room. And please feel free to sign the 1 million challenge banner.
Walking the road. Yes, sir.
See you later. You so funny. Hey, Teron, is it possible? Can we put Oh, that's dope. Whoa. Look at God. Please. Yes, sir. Change. Can we get the flyer of this event on the screen?
Test that.
You're so funny. You say, Mama. I know. But you know what? It was a good one. I think it was a good one. Chain, do you have it? You want me to send it to you? We're going to put y'all flyer on the screen.
her to get involved with our volunteer communications.
I was just. How are you?
Marketing.
Okay, cool.
You can get the here. Flyer.
You want to use this one or you want to use both?
I can just use it just so happens.
Okay.
We want our flyer.
Can you send it to me?
Oh, yeah, sure. Are they already projecting the flyer? What happened? Because he's...
Shame.
You sent it to me? Okay. Because he just asked that. He just asked me.
What's your name?
Blair.
Blair?
Yes.
Okay. He's about to put the line.
Yeah, I didn't know she sent it, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I saw you back in the corner. I was like,
oh, yeah.
I was going to come get you.
We was waiting. That's
Oh, man. Okay. So if we y'all go ahead and sorry, see if you can get some people to stay. Are you gonna help?
All right, so if you want to join the round table for the 100 Black women of the CAB with the 3 mayors, we have the mayor of Clarkston, we have the mayor of Stone Mountain, and the mayor of Stonecrest. We want to be able to listen to you. You don't get this opportunity often to be able to sit in front of the mayor, especially the city that you stay in, to be able to talk about your problems directly. So here you are. If you're ready for it, please take your seats. If you're not staying for the round table, we ask that you please sign our 1 million challenge banner and go ahead and make your way to go shop in the new Black Wall Street Market. Thank you for coming. Yeah, make sure you buy, I'm just playing, make sure you please invest and support those 1 million t-shirts you see in the back. If everyone looks to the right corner, the lady shaking the t-shirts, we have the 1 million t-shirts available for purchase. Please feel free to invest, support, and rock your new t-shirt. Ty got one on. Yeah, I love it, I love it. 1 million in the new Black Wall Street Market 2023. Let's do it.